Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Aaron, or Maraqua, however you want. I answer to anything. I answer to hey you. Doesn't matter. Today, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you my review of Grow, Song of the Evertree. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I have played this game quite a bit. I play it on YouTube, I play it on Twitch, I play it whenever I get the chance. It's just an awesome game all around. Um, it is on the eShop right now for $24.99, which is a reasonable price. I don't feel that that's too extravagant. I absolutely have had an amazing time playing this game. So the premise of Grow is you are essentially an apprentice who was left behind in the world of Alaria. And what had happened was the Withering came and kind of forced everybody out. Now, when it comes to the gameplay, I want you to pay close attention to the Withering because it kind of reminds me of something else. I'm not gonna spoil it just yet. And so the overall theme for this game is you're having to find song fragments for this thing called the Evertree, which is this thing that restores harmony and balance to the world of Alaria. And so you go through each kind of district and you're tasked with finding the song fragments to restore the Everheart, or the heart of the Evertree, so that it can continue to bloom and blossom again and sort of get rid of the withering. And it's just a fun, cozy game. It's not really intense in terms of like active gameplay, but it is some of the most beautiful graphics. And we have a companion which is called a Kazumi. Probably pronouncing that wrong. And it is just the most adorable creature ever. And also, along the way, you meet these other creatures called Everkin, and they are sort of like the ancients. They've been there long before us, characters in the game. And so I'm going to go ahead and do some gameplay just to kind of show you these graphics because they are incredible. So sit back, relax, enjoy the music, and we're going to get into it. All right, so we're navigating. It is just so beautiful. This is the Kazumi that we have to care for. And is just the most adorable mythical creature ever. And so your task, obviously, interact with it, do what you need to do with it, and sort of nurture it to a certain level. And now you do have different tasks that you need to perform. And so here's one district, the Meadow Quarters, that I've already completed, but you kind of start out and you get to decorate, you get to, people that come from the docks, they want to move in, like it'll have that above their head. Just incredible gameplay, graphics. The music is absolutely gorgeous. You could just listen to it all day. I know I could. And there is a task where you can actually call your Kazumi, and they will take you high above Alaria. And you can have random things, but this is the main thing that we're working on. This is the Evertree. And so you have to create through alchemy, you have to create all of these different seed worlds and just kind of plant them along the tree. And I will take you to this one because this one I've already finished. This is the first one that you create. This is the world seed. And just to kind of give you a little idea of the things that you have to do here, So, you know, there's planting and there's tending. You can harvest, you can shake, rattle, roll, you can do everything that you need to do in order to gain all of, you grow it essentially. You're growing worlds because before the withering, all of these worlds were flourishing. And so whenever you are tasked with a new world, it's the object, of course, to gain it like this. And so another one that we just started on that is kind of in the middling stages, where there's still things to do. You'll see those little beacons of light. They tell you what your tasks are. So this world is pretty much in its infancy. So you can harvest the nuts, you have to water. And then the great thing about it is you get to do this song. And you just get to get everything to grow. And that's such a harmonious thing. Like, it is a beautiful function of this game. And that's what it requires to grow. You're trying to regain that balance, regain the harmony, and all of these different songs is just countless hours, really. You could spend like literally countless hours playing this game. So I've always been asked if this game is worth the price, and I very, very wholeheartedly say yes, because there is a lot to do. There is, you know, it's just hours and hours of gameplay that you can literally get lost doing. Like, you can... I played once for almost 9 hours straight. Like, that's just the kind of progress that you can make in a really fast time. And it's just... the time just slips away. And the tasks are not that difficult, really. I mean, it's more or less geared around farming, community growth, and, you know, it's got a little bit of Animal Crossing, it's got a little bit of Stardew Valley, it's got a lot of Coral Island now. And the thing is this game came out in 2021. So long before, you know, Disney Dreamlight Valley, around the same time as Stardew Valley. You know, Animal Crossing, of course, was already out. So the games kind of take their cue from one another, in that it's very much a simulated game, which, who doesn't love a good simulated game, right? And it's one of those things that it helps you to escape from real life, you know. It's definitely, don't fall down there. That's instant death. We're not a fan of instant death. I've done it multiple times, so... I was asked to do a review on this game because it didn't really have a lot of exposure that I saw. And those are the kind of games that I really like. I really love giving a voice and a good try to the games that maybe people don't always automatically look at for whatever reason, one reason or another. And it seems like most of those games, if they don't have the hype that they feel like they should, then they stop promoting it. And I think that that's not always the good thing to do. I will promote the underdog always. And the currency in this game is called Mayora, which I think is really cool. And so it's just, you know, like I said, it's a mixture of gathering resources, and really these resources have no other purpose besides alchemical purposes. Most of the resources that you find, like the rocks, the flowers, and the fodder, all of these, and like the nuts and the fruit, unless they're used for specific villagers or village people, because they do, you know, villagers, they do require some tasks from time to time, and that's kind of how you build up all of this. If there's if you're not always sure like what job to do, you just have to press the ZL button and it will guide you to where your next task is. So that's kind of a cool feature. The controls are incredibly easy. Like, they're not overly complicated. They're not in any way meant to be tricky. It's just one of those. The handling of it takes a little bit of time just because it's got that sort of revolving camera that you see like in Disney Dreamlight, and all those other simulator games. And of course you can catch bugs, and it kind of cues you when you can go ahead and release your net. So there, it takes the guesswork out of it. So if you have a hard time kind of gauging those in other simulator games, this game definitely takes a lot of the guesswork out of it for you, which I don't have a problem with. Because sometimes when I'm playing to get my mind off of things, I don't really want to have to think too much. And so when it tells me that I can either pick it up with my hands or I can hit it with a hammer, you know, all those different little cues I think are incredibly helpful. And the fishing mechanism is actually pretty easy as well. So a lot of it's just controlled with the Y on the D-pad. It's kind of how you utilize that. And really, when a fish hits the snag, you just have to go and just keep pulling back on the Joy-Con. See, it'll do that. And then you caught it. I mean, that is fairly easy, you know? And there's different event days. So like right now we're in the fishing event season. They have Bug Appreciation Day, where you catch a whole bunch of bugs and you get a whole bunch of tickets that you can redeem at the festival grounds. Okay, let's see where. Oh, perfect. Okay. This looks like this might be our final task here. Or not. And just, you know, like I said, the music alone is incredible. It is so soothing, so relaxing, and it's just what you need at the end of a long day. In my opinion, anyway. And so it's got so many different elements to it. And, you know, it's not synced to real time. So obviously you sleep and then you go into the next day. And another really cool feature is you get to use alchemy, which anybody who's a fan of any kind of, you know, witchcraft, wizardry, any kind of fun games like that will definitely appreciate this aspect of the game. So let me show you. So this is our house in the Alchemist Grotto. When you first start the game, you're greeted by two different characters, Book and Coppertop. So they are the oldest. So there's Book, and Book keeps track of your tasks, the things that you have to do. You also have goals that you get different things for. So like we just got one for having 125 visitors. So then you're often gifted essence. Now these essences are what is used in alchemy. So this is our alchemy bottle, Coppertop. So when we go to, when we want to perform alchemy, we just give it to him, and then it's all they're really good for. Like, there's no other use for them, unfortunately, which is so sad, because I really wish there was a feature where they had more of a function. So after you upgrade a little bit, so all of your essences are here, you use these essences to then create world seeds that you would then use to build up the Evertree. I haven't quite unlocked that yet, because every combination that I've tried has not worked. So, the Evertree kind of opens as you get your first quest done, and the Evertree chamber is right here. So every time you find a song fragment, you will bring it to the Tree Heart Chamber, which, isn't this beautiful? It's just incredible. It's so ethereal and just lovely. Okay, this is the Withering. Doesn't that look like something else we know of? We always equate it to the Night Thorns in Disney Dreamlight Valley. And just listen to that song. And normally, 9/10 of the time, the green swirl is your current song fragment task. Now, a lot of times it won't tell you what that is, because you have to unlock it. And then once you place the song tree fragment, it kind of just goes away. But these won't ever light up again, because they've already been... This is the one that we just recently did, and that's what a song fragment looks like. And normally you find those deep in a cave. Or you'll find like a vault. It's either going to be a vault or a cave where you'll find most of those. And so it's very quest-based driven, which I enjoy. It is also very, it's just very cozy. And it's one of those games, like I said, you can play for hours and just get totally lost in what you're doing. Now, at the beginning of the game, you will embark to the Everkin Alley, where you will find the Everkin portal, which will take you to the land of the Everkin, which, look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? And these are our little Everkin friends. Oh. And then that's kind of where they tell you about the song fragments and... Didn't mean to press that twice. So your first task is talking to the Elderkin, and they're just there are these mythical magical creatures that just kind of, they hop almost interdimensionally, which is so cool. And there's so many different tasks that you can do for them. There's goals where you have to go through that portal so many times. So there's definitely a lot to do, and it's never a dull moment. So then the Elderkin is there. It is just, honestly, it is hours and hours of just incredible fun. And you don't really have a dull moment because there's just so much to see, there's so much to do. I find myself just taking screenshots of all of the scenery because it is just so masterfully done. And I'm not saying that you buy a game just for its graphics, but quite honestly, I think that's about 80% of the sell, is if it has really great graphics and it has really great like gameplay, it's gonna be amazing. And look at these. I mean, come on. Look at these selfies that they just put these selfies in there like it's nobody's business. And it's just one of the cutest things I think I've ever seen. Thank you guys for watching this video. Definitely let me know in the comments if it's a game you would consider, what you think of some of the gameplay. If you've seen me play it, let me know your thoughts. As always, please hit that like button. If you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button. And make sure you're tapping that bell so that you can see me when I go live. I'm live on YouTube on Sundays. Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays I'm on Twitch. But I wanted to do this video because I absolutely love this game, and it really needs a lot more hype than it's getting or than it has got. And so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.